In this video, we're going to show you how to make homemade dog food.
It's dog food day again. We make dog food once every couple months. We have 2 dogs, and this is the first step, buying all your groceries. So I went to 3 different stores. We're thankful that we live close to several stores. We live close to Gordon's, we live close to Sam's, we live close to MEIJER, Kroger, and Walmart. We're using ALDI. I don't know if I said ALDI, but we're using ALDI ground turkey. So we've got 20 of them. Our first step is putting it in the cooler. It's Thursday now. We're making dog food on Saturday. So we put all the cold stuff, the frozen stuff in the cooler because we don't have room for it in our fridge. We put it in the cooler for a couple days until we're ready to make it on Saturday. So this is a 2-day process. Not really. It's we buy the stuff Thursday, put it in the cooler, and then we're making it on Saturday. Not that big of a deal. So take all the frozen stuff. We've got frozen green beans. You can try and buy in bulk if you want. We do have baby carrots that we're going to put in the processor. We could do that. The stuff that goes in the that doesn't need to be refrigerated, we don't need to put it in the cooler. But the frozen stuff, yeah, we put it in there. That's like human food there, but we got peas. We have human food. We have chicken livers. We're gonna put that in there. And that's about it for the cold stuff, the frozen stuff. So anyway, that's step 1. All right, next step, we put all the dry ingredients over here. Our beans, our dark red kidney beans, our black beans, our sweet potatoes, and our zucchini. All right, first 2 steps are to get your rice going. Start cooking the rice, and then take your chubs and cut them in half. Slice them in half. They're still frozen. They've been in the cooler for a day and a half, but they're still frozen. Then here's what I do. I put the halves in there like that, kind of even them out between 2 pans. And then I pull the plastic off, which the more frozen it is, the harder it's going to be.
Our 2 dogs have been on this diet for over 2 years now.
20 pounds of turkey. So we're doing about 10 pounds of turkey per pan.
It's best to shop around for your ground turkey. You can buy fresh, you can buy frozen. We buy frozen because it's a little bit cheaper. Price we paid at ALDI in the Detroit area is $2.19 a pound, which is pretty good.
Then we take a bucket like this and we mix everything together. Put all of our frozen vegetables in there. Peas and carrots. Our cut green beans.
Never feed your dogs onions, garlic, or mushrooms. Those are not good for your dog.
So all of our ingredients will go in here. Basically, once the rice is cooled, it's going to go in here. Once the meat is somewhat cooled, it's going to go in here, and then we mix it all up.
Bo is the one on the left, Bruno's the one on the right.
All right, we make our rice with a rice cooker. You can make it in a pot if you don't have a rice cooker or whatever. We actually have a larger rice cooker. We still have to make several batches, so we get that going kind of with the meat. We put it in one of these pans, and we wash these up at the end and reuse them as much as we can. But anyway, we spread it out so it'll cool.
Now back to taking off the plastic. from the chubs of meat. You can leave the meat in the cooler for longer than we did. We left it in there about a day and a half.
We have left these on the counter. If we do it all in one day, we'll leave the frozen meat on the counter, which I don't really suggest defrosting your meat on room temperature, but we have done that before, left it on the counter, kind of defrosted it a little bit, and then started it. You can mix ground beef in it as well. We're going to mix ground beef. We have some left over from the last time that we did this. So we have some frozen ground beef that we thawed out. This is about the max for this pan. So any more, then you'll start running into problems where it's too much. All right, we add some coconut oil. You don't have to use this. We do use olive oil as well. So you do need to put some oils in here. We use a mix of coconut oil and olive oil.
Dogs can eat unrefined virgin coconut oil in small, moderate amounts, which may help improve skin, coat, and digestion. However, it is high in fat and calories, potentially causing upset stomach, weight gain, and pancreatitis.
And then you put some olive oil.
Olive oil is generally good for dogs in small, moderate amounts, offering benefits like improved skin, shinier coat, enhanced immunity, and better heart and brain health. Extra virgin olive oil is the best choice. Now we're going to add some turmeric. Turmeric is safe and potentially beneficial for dogs in small doses, acting as a natural anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and digestive aid, particularly for arthritis, mixed with healthy fats like coconut oil for better absorption.
And what we found out is that you need to add pepper in order to activate the turmeric. So if you're adding turmeric, you need to add pepper. So we're using freshly cracked pepper. Now we're all set. We can put it in the oven.
We have the temperature at 400 degrees. It's going to take a couple hours to cook this meat. Every half hour or so, you're going to need to mix up the meat to make sure it all cooks evenly.
Got to adjust our stove so that we can fit two of them in there. And this one's a little too high. Now it's good. These are green zucchini squash. We like to use yellow squash as well, but the store didn't have the yellow squash, so we didn't get it this time. I'm going to put yellow squash in the description, even though we're not using yellow squash this time. Then we slice it to the size that it'll fit in our food processor. Now, when we first started doing this, we used to use a hand chopper. You can use the hand chopper, that's fine. Our hands were horribly sore after we were using a hand chopper. So we went and bought a food processor to do the dog food. We wash the zucchini before we slice it and chop it up.
Then we put up all our chopped pieces into the food processor. Our zucchini, our sweet potatoes, and our carrots.
Then all we do is put it in our bin. All right, some people cook their sweet potatoes. We don't. We do wash the sweet potatoes before we cut them up and chop them up. Dogs get a lot of treats when we're making food. Then I take all my smaller pieces that didn't get chopped up good. I put them in there with the blade attachment. To chop them up. Also do the same with the carrots, which somehow they have frozen. They got colder in the past day and a half being in the cooler. All right, once the rice is cooled, you can dump it in your bin. The somewhat warm rice or whatever. It's not all the way cool, but the warm rice will defrost some of the frozen stuff.
We dump the rice out into the pan and we'll spread it around so that it'll cool quicker. We've got to make several batches of rice. So once the next batch of rice is done, then we'll take that batch and we will put it in the tub.
Taking the defrosted chicken livers out, putting them in the blender. We're going to make a chicken liver smoothie. Still a little frozen. I think it'll work.
We started making our own dog food because one of our dogs had allergies really bad and we wanted to get him off the allergy pills.
We're going to pour half in each pan. Expertly measured. Oh man, do not want to spill that. It is super heavy. This is where you don't want to use cheap pans.
At the end of this video, I tell you how much our dogs have lost weight-wise and inches in the past 2 years.
The meat, you just don't put it in and forget it. You have to pull it out. Oh my goodness. You have to pull it out. I use this little chopper thing from Pampered Chef. Just make sure that the meat on the bottom gets browned as well. So you want to kind of mix it up. For this recipe, you could put oatmeal in there. We've done it before. You could put pumpkin. You could add different things. This is what we like. What works for us.
When we first started doing this, we'd brown the meat on top of the stove. This seems to be a lot better.
And then you can rotate the pans from that was kind of hot. You can rotate the pans. This one was on the top. You can put this one back on the bottom type of thing because the top rack will cook faster usually than the bottom. So I will rotate them this time.
In the description, we'll have the price we paid for the food as well as where we purchased it to give you an idea of the cost. Next step is to take all your beans and rinse and dry them. We're using dark red kidney beans.
Next step is to take your beans and rinse and dry them. The cheap cans typically have the pop tops, where the more expensive ones sometimes don't. So we try and get the cheaper ones when we can.
You can get the large cans from Sam's, Costco. That would probably be a good idea to save some money.
Then we take our beans and we lay them out on a towel until they're dry.
Then do the same thing with the black beans. You'll want to rinse them and lay them out to dry before you put them in the bin.
Here's Nancy mixing some of the stuff up. Once the meat is done cooking, what I do, if it's a little watery, I'll drain it or I'll strain it. And let it cool for a little bit and then strain it. And then you can put it in your tub. So that's what I'm doing now. When the beans are all dried, you can put them in the bin too. Then you'll have to mix it all up. We use those gloves to mix them up.
This is Nancy's regular job, mixing the food in the tub.
Once all the food's mixed, we grab a 2-cup measuring cup and then we put it in a sandwich Ziploc bag. This will feed both of our dogs for one of the meals. Now we feed them twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening. So they get 2 cups each per day. So if you only have one dog, you're gonna feed them the same amount. 1 bag per day is fine.
And my back was hurting a little bit, so we switched jobs. And Nancy was filling the bags for the second part.
All right, then once we got them all bagged, then we put them in the small bags and we put them in the big gallon freezer bags. I'm putting 6 in a bag. So for us, that'll be 3 days worth of food. So we'll keep, if we didn't have any food already, we'd keep one of the bags in the fridge and then put the rest in the freezer.
You can figure out what works for you. Nancy she likes to put the small bags in the gallon size bag and then I zip them up.
All right, moment of truth. We got 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. So 4 times 4 is 16. 16 bags, 3 days worth. So 16 times 3 is about 48. 48. So we got 48 days worth plus this, so 49 and a half, almost 50 days worth. So not quite 2 months worth of dog food. So is it worth it? I don't know. Our dogs have lost a lot of weight. Right out of the refrigerator, we put it in the microwave for about 30 seconds. Heats it up a little bit, and then we feed it to the dogs.
Stay till the end to see before and after pictures of our dogs. Our one dog, Bo, he had lost 19 and a half pounds and also 3.5 inches of his widest part of his body. Bruno lost 9 pounds and 2 inches.